So initially, the big driver for me in the aftermath of Dom's death was to give Pat something to focus on, and there wasn't much I could do to help. But the one thing I could do was to say, let's write this book, because we had said very early on, gosh, there must be a book in this. So it felt like the right time to get her focusing on something and just starting to think about the future in a different way.
It's ongoing, my experience of grief. And one of the biggest things that happened to me was realising that that would be the case, rather than trying to end it or fight it or finish it. And as soon as I accepted that grief was going to be like the shadow side of loving Dom, the thing that stayed with me from him, it became a lot easier to work with. But it was immense and hard to do justice in a few words, but it was like a complete emotional and physical sensation which blotted out the entire world for quite a long time. And then gradually that has stayed, but the world's kind of expanded around it again.
I still have moments where I think, oh, I'm not sure what I'm going to say here, but I'm much braver about asking people how they are and how they're coping, because before I think I was nervous of reminding people, but now I've understood that you can't remind people of their grief because they haven't forgotten. And also I'm very much more accepting of people saying what they want to say, even if it makes me uncomfortable, even if it's very hard to hear. One of the biggest releases I found when Cam was ill was being able to talk about my darkest thoughts and for people just to listen to them. So now I don't feel that I need to fix anything. I feel that I can just sit there and say, tell me anything you'd like to say to me, because a lot of the time it's very difficult for people to talk to their family because they're trying to protect their family, and it's actually very helpful if you're a friend and just that one step removed, even though it's hard, still hard to hear, to listen to everything that they can't say to anybody else.
I think one of the things that I've really learned from the experience of losing Dom is how important it is to think about death while we're in life. And I've been thinking about that a lot in the current lockdown as well, when so many people are frightened, but you have to kind of take it into your life and then still carry on living joyfully, because it's part of that whole human experience. It's not something we can run away from.
Anything that absorbs you. I really found that being outside in nature and just noticing my garden, things that were pushing through the earth, the tulips coming up, a lot of that, I mean, it sounds really flaky in a way, but it just made me feel that the seasons kept rolling on, life kept going, and that good things would come again.
To first of all, to make sure that people get a conversation going about mental health and suicide, so that we start to understand that you can actually learn how to spot the signs and how to treat it. It's not something that we just sort of look at and go, oh, I don't know what to do with that. And the other thing I really wanted to do is to make people feel that they're not alone, and that we were lucky enough to have our friendship, and we'd like to share it with you. I think I just nicked your line.
You did just nick my line. You can have that line. I'll quickly invent another line.
Like that.